Okay, so number 12, simplifying the radical. This is something that we have not talked about much this year, and but you're going to have some of these in the reviews, and hopefully you get a hang of it as you go through some of them. First thing we got to do is, if we're simplifying square roots, we have to know what perfect squares are. So a perfect square is like 2 times 2, that's 4. 3 times 3 is 9. 4 times 4 is 16. Then you got 25, 36, 49. Those are all perfect squares, and you're going to learn more about this in geometry. But for right now, we got to see if we can divide out perfect squares out of this. Well, first thing is I'm going to just rewrite it as the square root of 48 over the square root of 147. And then I'm going to simplify each of those individually. To do that, you have to look at see which one of these numbers, okay, which one of these numbers divides into 48 or 147 evenly. So let's start off with 48. 49 does not go into 48. 36 does not divide into 25 doesn't. Take 48 and divide by 16. See if 16 goes into 48 evenly. Okay, and if you do that, you're going to realize 16 goes into 48 3 times. So we're basically, it's almost like creating a factor tree. You're just factoring out a 16. 16 times 3 gives you 48. Okay, now what you're going to have now, the square root of 16 is 4. So then you have just 4 square root of 3. All right, the square root of 48 is the same thing as 4 square root of 3. Now that you know how to do that, maybe you can pause the video and try to figure out how to break down the 147, or you can just watch me go through it. If you figure out, what number divides into 147 evenly, well, you're going to start off with 49. Okay, now again, it doesn't stop with 49. I mean, 8 times 8 is 64. 9 times 9 is 81. Then you got 100. I mean, there's an infinite number of perfect squares. Okay, but obviously, nothing bigger than 147 is going to divide into 147 evenly. 49 does go into 147. It goes into it, let's see, 3 times. Okay, 147 divided by 49. So the square root of 49 times the square root of 3 is the same thing as the square root of 147. Now, square root of 49 is 7, then you have the square root of 3 attached to it. So as of right now, this is what you have. Now, the square root of 3's, we have one on top and one on the bottom, they can actually cancel out. And we're left with 7 over 4. And that would be your answer.